Just before we start, we need to mention that everything mentioned in the ManLab episode, and this episode in particular, is for educational purposes only. Please always refer to a medical professional for your specific needs, and do not take what we say as gospel because every human is different. Now let's get in the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the ManLab. Today we're going to be covering 4 peptides that you can potentially mix with human growth hormone peptides. Now each of these are going to have different results based on what you want. So this isn't like you have to take all 4. You can have 1, 2, 3, or all 4. This is just another option for an additional thing to help with your anti-aging or whatever your goals are. So Jeff, obviously, muscle with brains.
The meatball.
The meatball. So we basically, Jeff, I mean, if you guys haven't met him already, that's crazy, but I'm sure you have. First one, let's just go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, keep it simple.
Let's start, you said mix with. Let's say you could include with.
Okay, yes.
People think, oh, we're mixing them all up. We're making concoctions.
Yes.
So,
actually, that's true. So I saw something recently, quick tangent. Do you recommend as well, like spacing things out? Because there's a bit of a debate with that.
Yeah, listen, man, I feel like in the world of social media, everyone has to have their own shtick or something. Like, how can they stand out? Like, for so many years, there's peptides that have been put together and they work together. And then there's now people are saying, you can't. And is their best application, we'll just say, for example, BPC with TB. Can you take it together? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it, depending on the situation, if you're just using it for basic use, inflammation, you're doing kind of like daily dose protocol, fine, keep it together. If you're trying to use it for healing, you're probably better off getting a separate BPC TB, and you're going to schedule them different. BPC might be, every day or every third day, and then usually TB, you would have a higher dose, usually twice a week, spaced about 3 days apart. So they're fine. They're not going to kill each other. Everybody say, well, the pH. Now, there is some research showing like copper, having copper with, does it degrade and take down some of the potency of the BPC TB? But to what extent?
Yeah, are you splitting hairs in a way? So.
Right.
All right, cool. Yeah, so for backstory for that, like I saw recently on social media that you should be spacing out your injections 15 minutes apart or something like that, depending on the... So that's why I just asked, guys. So it's dependent on the situation.
To sit there and wait.
That's especially taking 4 in the morning. It's like I don't have an hour to space it out. So all right. So with CJC and ipamorelin on its own, or tesamorelin and ipamorelin,
or sermorelin.
Yeah. Basically, we're going like as growth hormone peptides and hormone releasing peptides.
Yep.
Which GHRH. What's the first one that can work?
I mean, if you want to talk more like what I like, but a lot of what I like is typically what works really good. So I've said it many a times, I love oral BPC. Probably one of the best. Like, you get the gut benefit, inflammation in the gut, you get systemic inflammation come down, helps quite a bit with my osteoarthritic issues, my joints, my knees. So oral BPC for the gut benefit and for the systemic inflammation drop.
Oh, sweet. And so that would
recovery from workouts too. I do notice when I'm consistent with it, I do recover much faster.
Okay. So BPC. Now,
and you can
quick tangent with people like with oral versus injectable. If someone is like, what's better in your opinion, cost per dollar?
I would say there's a good base, and you're generally healthy. You don't have any issues that you're trying to specifically heal up. Oral BPC, best bang for the buck. Injury, something that maybe injury post-surgery, usually go on BPC into the area. You'll still get some systemic. You don't get as much of the gut benefit. I'm huge into keeping the gut right.
And you should take that with food, not without. Or
there's some argument with even with or without food. It's the stomach acid kills it. The one we use actually has SNAC, which is sulfur sodium, which helps basically the peptide go across the gut membrane or the gut permeability. So you actually could get a larger molecule peptide across the gut membrane.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. Taking like you say. And so second one.
Next to that one, and it's not really a peptide, it's a coenzyme, would be NAD+. Nicotinamide, adenine, dinucleotide, say it 10 times fast.
I can't take it once.
That's, just going to be more cellular health, cellular longevity, cognitive function, just all, I've said it many times. We have trillions of cells that perform every function in our body. If you could optimize how your cells function, everything works better. So, and I do notice a big difference with microdosing it. Just for me, I go all day from early to late and I'm sharp. So,
okay.
Maybe some days.
Some days.
Depends. We just got back from a conference in Vegas. So
yeah, brain's a little bit dead.
Not sharp.
Not sharp. It is a bowling ball bluntless right now. But I said bluntless. That's how bad my brain is. Okay, so the third one.
Next to that, I'd probably put a copper. I don't really care so much about the settings. I guess I do now because I've seen some benefits from it. Copper GHKCU.
Quickly, before we get back to the episode, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't on whatever channel you're watching or listening to the ManLab. And if you're listening on Spotify, if you could leave a 5-star review on the channel page, that would be greatly appreciated because that will help continue to push it a little bit further for whoever is looking for information to help improve their health. Now, on the topic of information, if you are on YouTube, you can leave a comment below on this episode and we will respond to it with as much information as possible, or it might be another episode down the road. The reason this is important is because the more questions you guys ask, the more we know what we need to do to serve you guys better in future episodes. So comment on YouTube, leave a 5-star review, hit subscribe, and let's continue to help making men great again. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah, should you space that out? We're like, you should have it first, and 15 minutes later have your NAD.
So I usually
CJC or whatever.
For my growth hormone peptide, I take it at nighttime. My copper, I take in the morning.
Oh.
So no issues.
Yeah.
BPC, I usually take a pill in the morning, pill at night. Listen, I'm up, I'm taking my stuff, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I still see benefits.
Yeah.
So
for someone having that, what would be the benefits for having that
it's
with?
Going to be just overall regeneration, tissue regeneration, collagen production, hair, skin, nails. I definitely noticed right around that second, third month, way back when I started it, I didn't really notice a lot the first 2 months. And then it was right around 2.5 months. My skin started looking nicer. You had that nice glow. And I didn't it was funny. People are like, oh, you got a glow to your skin. I'm like, yeah, it's working.
And should you take it daily?
I do. I microdose it daily.
Yep.
So small amount.
Small amount frequently.
Yep.
Perfect. Number 4. Last one.
Last but not least would probably be 5-amino 1MQ. I like oral 50 milligrams. It amplifies the NAD. So a lot of times NAD is going to help with ATP to the cell. This, some people get NMMT, I can't say it fast, goes up and it prevents some of the ATP making it there. So when I put that into the mix, and I've done it years separately, and I don't know, probably 6 months ago, I started consistently using it together, and it was a dramatic difference in the cognitive function, overall energy, definitely a lot less caffeine in my day to get through the day.
Really?
So I'm all for it. I saw the difference.
And what time should someone take that?
So that's one, I made the mistake when I was first using it with NAD. I did miss I was doing one in the morning. Ideal was only one a day. I was doing I had one in the morning, one midday. Took my midday one too late and didn't realize it, and I didn't sleep good. And then I kind of I look at my sleep, my eat, sleep, and my trackers, and it was off. So the next day, I was just on schedule, no problem. And then I had another bad night sleep the day after that. And when I looked back, I was like, you know what? I missed my midday pills, and I had 5-amino. So I purposely didn't take it one day. No problem. And then I took it purposely late, and I toss and turn. I felt like I had restless leg syndrome. So don't take it too late.
Don't take it too late.
And I felt like I couldn't shut my brain down.
Yeah. So, well, that's us normally.
Yeah.
And so for anyone asking, can you take all 4 of these with human growth hormone peptides? Yep. No problem, no side effects?
Take them all. No, so you're going to have the growth hormone peptide, improving growth hormone output. Everything's going to be better on a cellular level. You'll have the NAD providing more cellular energy. 5-amino 1MQ it could help with fat loss, but it amps up the NAD. So it almost puts the NAD on steroids. The BPC is just a good stable. I always call it Windex, in the Big Fat Greek Wedding. It just has so many benefits from the gut working to the joints. That's my fave.
That's my faves. All right, guys. So remember, tclinicsusa.com. Mention the ManLab in there. You get 10% off your first package. Make sure to subscribe. and we'll see you guys next time. Comment any questions you've got. Peace.